Thank you. Sorry, it's got a delivery, Anthony.
Nice.
Maybe we start the podcast like this. I'll do an unboxing. I ordered a hoodie.
Box.
It's the rapper Denzel Curry.
Not really.
Oh, he's a cool rapper. I like.
No relation to Steph or Seth.
No relation to those guys. He's just a cool, good rapper, but also like he fucks with like a lot of like metal and hardcore bands and like.
Okay.
Most recently,
he
was on a Knocked Loose song. I think he might be from Florida, actually.
That would be a sick guess by me. That would be a legendary. I have no clue, but I just guessed Florida because of the combined major hip hop and hardcore scenes there.
He put out this kind of like super group, right? Like he put together this little super group. It's him, ASAP Ferg, and these two ladies who's like, I didn't know them as rappers before. And they put out a record. And I really liked the record. So I bought the hoodie rather impulsively, and now it's at my house. So there you go. Their supergroup is called The Scythe, and it's very good.
The Scythe, like the thing the Grim Reaper holds, or
exactly like that, dude. Yeah, he is Florida. He's Florida. He's from Florida.
Wow. Okay, I deserve that. How the fuck did I just guess that, dude?
Because you're smart and handsome and cool. I don't know. Is that a good enough answer for you?
That's fucking right, dude. Welcome to Force Takeaways, folks. The internet's premier menswear and street fashion podcast. We're here doing an unboxing.
Yeah, I just got a hoodie, a Scythe hoodie. The rap supergroup with ASAP Ferg and Denzel Curry. And then there's also a lot of other famous guys like on this album, but they're not necessarily part of the group. They just kind of featured. Juicy J is one that comes to mind.
There's a lot of really obscure and sort of hangers-ons in the ASAP world. There's like ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP Yams. R.I.P. ASAP. Is ASAP Clyde a real guy? Because you say Clyde. Because it could be. I don't know. There's a lot of those guys.
ASAP Murray. ASAP Kyle.
ASAP Kyler Murray.
ASAP Kyler Murray. And there's that's.
He's a Viking now.
He is a Viking now. There has been a couple major things have happened since we last recorded, including some quarterbacks getting signed, some trades being backed out of, my favorite team finally making a move. It's like 45 seconds before we started recording.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Let's start with that. So minutes before, like while we were like getting ready to get online here, my girlfriend's brother sent to the group chat a picture of two like subsequent little pictures of penguins, like little penguin memes. And I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah, what's this guy going off about?
Now, keep in mind, last night the Avs had a disastrous home showing against the Pittsburgh Penguins and got booty clapped 7-2.
You thought he was rubbing it in for a second.
So I thought he was trolling about that. And I was like, what? We never talk about hockey in this group chat. Nobody does. Why are you...
Also, why are you being rude about it?
Why are you rubbing it in my face? Stop it. And then I'm going on the Raiders Reddit to look to see what their reaction to the Maxx Crosby thing is. Because that's what I thought we were going to start to lead the show with, was the Maxx Crosby fiasco that happened just minutes after we stopped recording last week. So I'm on the Raiders Reddit. I'm like, what do they think about what happened here? Let's see what their comments. And I see a post that was like 5 minutes ago, Broncos trade for Jaylen Waddle. So the news got broken to me technically by the Raiders Reddit, which is crazy.
No, technically by Mary's brother. We have to give him. Technically
by Mary's brother. Yes, yeah.
What's his name? Is it Declan?
No, it's Jack. His name's Jack.
Hey, well, thanks, Jack. Does he listen to the show?
Probably not.
Oh, so he's not really a sports guy.
Oh, he loves sports. He's a big
I mean, guy. I'm not questioning that he loves sports, but if he doesn't listen to this show, he's not really a sports guy. Show.
He's not really in on all the latest happenings. So this is the trade. Broncos received Jaylen Waddle and the Dolphins' 4th round pick, which is the 11th pick in the 4th round from Miami. The Dolphins get Broncos this year 1st, 3rd, and 4th of the 2026 draft, which was all those will be the 30th in the round because
so they're essentially
Broncos
third
willing
round
to
pick.
part with their late picks this draft in a draft that is, I don't like saying that a draft is or isn't strong when I myself haven't done all the research. It's kind of just what everyone seems to be saying, and I sort of
it is true. It's not strong.
I resent when they say that because it's like you just never know when you can get.
But Anthony, it's true though. I'm telling you, I've been paying attention.
Did you wait? Hold on a second. Did you see the video of the Texans beat reporter doing a live stream on Instagram, taking people's questions about free agency stuff? And a guy trolled him. A guy asked about a LSU tackle named Dixon Myaz. And he goes Dixon Myaz. Yeah, he could be good. He could be a good pick.
That's so funny. That's so fucking good. Dixon Myaz.
So Bart Simpson coded, dude. We need to bring pranks like that back.
That beat reporter has to get fired now. That sucks for him. Just for being so stupid. And like for clearly not actually doing his job. Like that's the real embarrassing part. It's like, oh yeah, Dixon Myaz, he's good. Yeah, Cox in my ass is his brother. He's good. Yeah, Diggs in my ass. That's
oh man. Okay. So yeah, my thoughts on this trade. I'm always sort of I'm kind of a pessimistic wet blanket of a fan. So sort of
way.
Sometimes I can be. Sometimes I have a tendency to be. And while I was originally, my very first thing was like, oh my god, the Broncos finally made a free agency move because they were until fucking 30 minutes ago, they were the only team that hadn't made a external free agency signing. Like they re-signed a bunch of their own guys to some of them were hit or misses. They had a pretty normal. They didn't have like a crazy amount. But they had like
let Jonathan Franklin Myers walk, which was dumb.
Well, in my opinion, they weren't going to be able to keep every single one.
In my humble opinion, okay, it's a humble opinion.
They had a lot of decisions to make internally, and that's actually where that leads me to some of my maybe my second or third thought was like, what does this mean for Courtland Sutton? Where does he fall? Does he become redundant? Is he going to get pissed off? Is he like, hey, what's going on? And then I remember that they just gave him a deal last year. Okay, they just gave him an extension last July, a 4-year, $92 million extension. And there's a story here from the NFL.com at around that time from Kevin Patra with these quotes from him where he is saying he gives us a chance to be able to Kevin Patra.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kevin pats himself on the back. Why don't you? For some great reporting.
Is he the Broncos beat? That was a genuine question.
I think he's just a senior news writer for the NFL.
Okay.
Like that, he works for the league. I don't think he's a beat writer. Maybe he was at one point. I'm not sure. I thought he was an Eagles guy. Actually, sounds
Kevin
like
Patra.
The name. I might be thinking of someone else that has a similar sounding name. But anyway, Sutton's going on and on. He has these multiple quotes about like. I took less money so we can make so the team could be more flexible because we like at the time it was based around Bo Nix and all the other guys that they had to re-sign at that point, which Alex Singleton, they didn't re-sign him. Jonathan Franklin Myers, let him go. Adam Troutman, I didn't really get to touch on this too much last week because I hadn't thought all that much about it, but with more time to think, the Adam Troutman re-signing I thought was pretty weird by the Broncos. I wasn't really a huge fan of that. I thought, we've talked about how tight end is one of their biggest like needs. Now they haven't had like a really like dynamite tight end in like quite some time. And they just they extend this guy, Adam Troutman, who last year had 20 catches in like however many, like hundreds of snaps, hundreds and hundreds. Like he was an every down guy. He's mainly like a blocking tight end. and I don't think I don't think he's like even like an elite blocker or anything. He's just like a guy that doesn't really catch the freaking ball that much. But he's a Saints guy, and that's sometimes kind of all that matters when it comes to Sean Payton. So that one kind of, I wouldn't say it pissed me off, but it was kind of like, dude, what? Like, after all these other guys you re-signed, you were like, no, we gotta keep Adam Troutman in the building. And there's not a single free agent that we're even interested in, except now, of course, we know that's wrong because they've got Jaylen Waddle. But so kind of a weird offseason for the Broncos so far. Fans kind of don't really know how to feel. They were sort of like antsy about not having signed a free agent. I'm sure they'll find the reasons to tear this apart, as I am now. But overall, I think it's good. I think the offense will be good, and hopefully this can, when defenses are getting into like a pick your poison battle of Courtland Sutton or Jaylen Waddle, hopefully a third or fourth guy can kind of flourish in that new offense, like maybe someone like Evan Ingram, who was a big offseason acquisition last year that everyone thought was going to be like take the world by storm, and
he's going to be the Joker, remember?
Yeah,
he was going to watch the world burn. Freaking watch it burn down.
I'm Evan Ingram. Throw me the ball.
That sounded kind of like the Crypt Keeper.
The Crypt Keeper.
Kitties.
That's it. Does the Crypt Keeper have an English accent?
It's like no, it's just like effeminate, which like can be confused as a
British just like accent. An old, like a mid-Atlantic 1940s accent.
Mid-Atlantic, like gay guy, but he's a skeleton. He's cool, man. He just plays dress up and tells you stories. That's a good guy right there.
I used to be so scared of that show. My parents liked watching it, and I would be like, I would like freak the fuck out when it came on.
I loved watching the intro.
My parents love reminding me that I used to refer to skeletons as bones guys.
Oh, I love that. That is very cute. Bones guys?
Bones guys. Yeah, I did not like bones guys for a pretty long time.
That's very cute. If my daughter said that, I think I would I get tears in my eyes. I like bones guys.
You can tell her. It's your kid. You can tell her that they're called bones guys for real and make her say it.
She knows what's a skeleton.
She already knows what that.
His parents she knows every spooky guy.
She knows all the correct
every goblin.
terms.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so anyway, what do you think of the Jaylen Waddle signing as a non-Broncos fan but a Broncos supporter?
At first, I was a little surprised. It seemed like a weird move, but then I looked into it and so it's the 30th pick in the first. It's the first, the third, and fourth. It was a swap. It's a fourth round pick swap. So really, you're giving up a second and third for Jaylen Waddle, who's 27, so he should be at his peak right now.
Yeah, 3 years younger than Sutton.
Yeah. To a win now team that needs maybe some help stretching the field vertically at receiver. I think it's good. I think if you can, here's the thing. It's when it comes to the draft, it's okay, the draft is the best way that is the best way to improve your team in the long term if you kind of know what you're doing, right? If you're drafting and developing at positions that you can develop at, right?
Scouted, yeah.
So, but simultaneously, it's also a crapshoot, and the same. We've talked about this before. The draft is basically just it's an imperfect science. Nobody knows. You could have a prospect that has the greatest, had a really good college career and great testing numbers, and he just doesn't make it for a number of reasons. Seriously, everything has to work out. But so at the same time, you will talk about hoarding and coveting draft capital because it is smart to. If you have a bunch of lottery tickets, a bunch of scratchers, right, you have a higher chance to win a prize. I think for where the Broncos are right now, with like they have some holes, but none that are like necessarily glaring.
Or gaping. Yeah.
They're in a win now type of situation with Bo Nix still on a rookie deal. And like they're in the AFC West where like Mahomes isn't going to play half the season guaranteed. Um, so like they have like they have a very good chance at repeating and the AFC West and like making a good playoff run if things continue to go their way. So I think it's smart. I think they gave up like to get a bona fide star receiver who is going to come in there and be your number one. For a second and a third round pick and a fourth round pick swap is smart. I think like to have that guaranteed player and like a certain threshold of guaranteed production for those picks for where they are right now, I don't think it's a bad trade. The one thing that does get me a little bit is that like looking at Jaylen Waddle's, I don't know, if you just look at his stats over the last 3 to 4 years, there
Right.
has been a bit of
Yeah.
there's been like a steady decline, but also you have to like understand the context. So like, I don't know. I don't think it's like the best trade ever. I'm not like, holy shit, like
Yeah. Yeah.
Broncos Super Bowl favorites right now, go. But I do think it's very. I think it's a good trade with some pretty good upside, considering that like they're a Super Bowl or bust team. So it's like you're not really worried about the bust part. Why not just strengthen your odds to get to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes,
I like it. I think it's
I'd give it
good.
like a B minus. Like immediate reaction, yeah. Give it like mostly good. Not like I'm not like oh no, but also not
They
like
should have
yeah,
just
not like a
drafted.
slam dunk. Yeah,
They could have just taken him over Jerry Judy, though.
yeah. It's 3 years ago or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yikes, yikerinos. But they have Marvin Mims.
hey,
So
yeah, Marvin Mims. Now you move Marvin Mims. Like so, like
who
is he going to
Marvin
be a
Mims
slot guy
really
now?
came on
Because
last year.
yeah, Marvin Mims is very good. Not just as a returner either. Like if this means that, so you kind of put like either Jaylen Waddle or Cortland Sutton on the outside, and then you have Marvin Mims in the slot where he's like kind of built and he has like the natural skills. Like he's a great route runner. He's a good move guy. He he's an accelerator, right? Like he's fast, he's shifty. Um, like I don't know. It depends. I want to see the count. Like this is always hard for me. Like when trades like this happen, it's like okay, so like I want to know how he's going to be employed because that also like that is going to that's going to play into like how good of a trade I think it is. It's like okay, how are they going to use Jaylen Waddle? Is he the X
Right.
now? Is he a Y? Is it one of those things for like depending on um depending on what the play is they're calling, like they'll move the formation around a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's good. It's like the only thing they've done, and it's exciting. It's a big name. I guess my point here is I want to see how Jaylen Waddle is used, and I have faith that like Sean Payton is going to like be able to use him very well in a very highly productive sense. If that like, I think he'll be employed to get the most production out of his abilities as possible.
Well, I mean, I hate to be a naysayer and a negative Nancy, but that's what we all thought about Evan Ingram last offseason too, and that's I know I'm harping on that a lot this season and this episode and in life, but when
Yeah,
they
but
signed
Jaylen
Evan Ingram
Waddle,
last offseason, it was like, oh, Sean Payton's gonna figure out a cool, a crazy freaking in secret way to unlock his potential, and it was just kind of like, for most of the season.
people were still though at that point, like Evan Ingram was still kind of this guy who got like when he was drafted, he was like this athletic freak tight end, and like people were so excited about what he was going to be able to do, and like he had a couple of like pretty good seasons, but never lived up to that hype. Jaylen Waddle has like exceeded his hype already.
Oh,
Like Jaylen Waddle has proven that he can be even like especially with like Tyreek Hill, where he gets like Jaylen Waddle caught 104 passes like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Like he can be a volume receiver. There's proof of concept there. He's only 27.
Sure.
I know he's had a dip in production the last 2 years, but the last 2 years they couldn't keep their fucking quarterback on the field because he kept like his brain kept going offline.
And not to mention there was some really wretched vibes around Miami. The second, like going into the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, like it was bad. Like, I mean, freaking the coach got fired. I mean, he like almost halfway turned it around. Basically, once Tyreek Hill left, everything kind of chilled out. But yeah, I'm willing. I'm not saying I'm totally writing it off, being like, oh well, none of that matters because Tua is bad and the Dolphins are bad. His production did dip. Like you can't ignore it. But he also what you cannot ignore or cannot say, he for the pretty much most part stays healthy. He never misses more than 1 or 2 games a year in all these.
Yeah, he's reliable.
He stays upright for the most part, which is good.
Man, his rookie season when like that offense like took over the NFL for like and everyone was like, holy shit. Look at have you seen this? Have you seen this fucking shit, dude? This is the greatest show on turf, part 2. This is the best offense ever.
His catch rate his rookie season was 74.3%.
He was so good. He's been playing next to Tyreek Hill, so his like speed, I feel like it's ignored. But he's very fast. He's very quick. He's a very good route runner too. I don't know. I'm excited to see. He's the best receiver on the roster right now. Like Denver hasn't had a big name receiver in a long time. Yeah. So here you go. Brandon Marshall. Courtland Sutton's a big name and a Pro Bowler.
He's been the guy there for the past few years, yeah. But I don't think like if you were just talking to a non-Broncos fan and we're like, who are the 5 best? Who are like just start naming some of your best receivers in the league? Most people probably wouldn't name Courtland Sutton in the top 10 unless they were like friends with a Broncos fan or went to SMU or whatever college. Where did he go to college?
He went to SMU, yeah.
The people, unless they were like somewhere in that orbit, most people don't.
Or played with the Broncos in Madden. That's a possibility. It could be somebody.
Oh yeah, Madden. Yeah,
I'm not a Broncos fan, but I have played with the Broncos in Madden. I like to play with them in Madden because they're a team I like to try to rebuild.
Or just fantasy, maybe fantasy people who are just familiar with the league overall. But you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Courtland Sutton. As much as I like him, I don't want to belittle him or say or talk bad on him or whatever because he's been pretty reliable for the Broncos for many years. So yeah, that's that. What do you now that we've had a week to also marinate on the entire Maxx Crosby fiasco? That was what we opened the show with last week, was thinking the trade that we thought was real was him going to the Ravens. So you were like, Baltimore has received another racist.
Oh, yeah. So the racist stays in Vegas, which is like a really good place for him to be because I imagine there's a lot of racists there. It's a desert city that is like kind of very superficial and transient. So like, yeah, a lot of racism there, I imagine.
Yeah.
Like nobody's talking about like, oh, look at come to and visit our culturally rich city, Las Vegas. This doesn't happen. It sucks. It's just like Elvis and sex and drugs. That's your town right there. I think the Ravens are like in the wrong 1,000% here.
Yeah.
Because of this, because like, so they get they put together the trade and they get him in the building, right? They fly his entire family to Baltimore for this big press conference. And then the doctors like do his physical, which is just a formality. And like, that's what they nix a deal because they say, hey, they look at his knee and they're like, hey, this isn't good here. Like, we can't be doing this. And it's like, it'd be one thing if like it was a secret that Maxx Crosby had a bad knee. Like he sat out the last 2 games of the season,
Yeah, no, yeah.
2025. And it was like a public thing because Maxx Crosby was pissed about it because they were making him rest his knee. But clearly, like in hindsight, Vegas was protecting an asset by doing that.
That's what, and that was sort of the inciting
buy it.
incident of the whole reason he was going to leave, was them asking him, was shutting him down. He didn't like it, that, and
Yeah.
like stormed out of the building. That was the
Yeah,
entire.
it ruined the relationship. Yeah. I think they're acting in very bad faith. I think that it's a combination of things. Like I think that they saw like it kind of sunk in like what they were giving up, and like that's a lot to give up for an edge. And like they're not necessarily like they're a playoff team, but are they like a Super Bowl or bust team? Probably not. They're probably just outside the Super Bowl or bust territory, in my opinion. I'm just going off like historically speaking, like
the truth hurts.
They needed like who's Lamar going to be throwing the ball to this year, right? Like that's the story every year. It's like they have this generationally awesome quarterback, and they never give him help.
I just heard that in Stavi's voice.
It's so frustrating.
Who the hell's Lamar throwing it? I can't do the accent. It's so weird.
It feels
like
weird.
It feels like putting needles in your mouth.
Ooh, I like that actually. I'm into that.
Who the hell's Lamar throwing a ball to? Who the hell? You can't talk fast. You have to talk really slow when you're doing Baltimore.
Who
the hell is Lamar throwing the ball to?
That was really good. That
was almost John Gruden-y a little bit.
That was good. That kind of sounded like current day Bam Margera.
Yeah,
you know, like.
Would he be an Eagles fan or a Baltimore fan? He's from Pennsylvania, right?
He's from Westchester, so he'd probably be a Birds fan.
Yeah.
But I don't think he cares about football. He's like a true punk hater. But anyway, like sorry, go.
We told Phil we got Birds tickets, but we're actually just gonna throw a bunch of dog shit at him when he goes down to the house.
That was very good. That was a really good band. It still hurts to laugh, so I got
distracted. Sorry.
It's okay. I think the Ravens got cold feet on the capital they're giving up, and then also I think they saw Trey Hendrickson still on the market. They were expecting him to probably be signed already, and they were looking at it and they're like, "Hey, what? Like, I don't know. Trey Hendrickson's not like Maxx Crosby's clearly very good, but Trey Hendrickson's not that far behind him, and the cost to get him would be this, and then we still have that 14th overall pick, and it's just a slimy, shitty move, right? Like they got too horny for a deal, they made it, and then they had that post-nut clarity, and they started making excuses and trying to cover up their mistake. And hey, we've all been there, right? Anybody with a drinking problem has been there. So I think the Ravens suck and are shitty, and like Eric DaCosta is like a slimy worm. And I don't think that the Maxx Crosby, I don't think he's gonna play in Vegas this year, even though that's kind of he's like, all right. He like put out that statement where he's like, I'm back and I'm committed to the Raiders. Let's go. Like, let's try to have a winning season this year. I think it's going to be quiet until the draft, and then he's like traded around the draft or possibly training camp.
Whoa, really?
And somebody gets hurt because they have to recoup some leverage because they're not going to get what they got. That it was a huge asking price and they got it, and they're not going to get that now. It's just going to go down after this, because roster holes are filled. The demand isn't quite as high. Like they lost a lot of leverage here because they were kind of like just because the Ravens did what they did, it kind of exposed the Raiders a bit. And now that they're going to lose some leverage, and they're going to not get as rich of a return as they would have gotten had this deal have gone through. But
not to mention the avalanche of other free agent signings that they made they were like, well, Maxx Crosby's gone, so we can do this and this and this and this.
Exactly. And they were building they were building with a vision that did not include Maxx Crosby, and the Ravens are like, no one's going to want to do business with them for a while now. They kind of fucked themselves. But who cares? They're the Ravens, and they're always going to end up they're going to end up being as disappointed in the long run because of who they are. So they're not going to get the last laugh, is what I'm trying to say. But I do personally believe that either around the draft or training camp, somebody goes down non-contact injury, or a team looks at what they have and they're like, man, yeah, there's still not enough here. We need to add an edge. Then that trade goes down. At the very latest, he gets moved before the deadline. But he does not play a full 2025 with the Raiders.
I mean, this whole situation for me as someone who dislikes both franchises, I can sling mud at both of them and be right.
I wasn't trying to not sling mud at the Raiders. I called their city racist. I just want to be very clear that I'm not pro Las Vegas in any way.
Well, I mean, but here's my thing: is as much as I want to do that and can and will, I haven't seen a lot of discussion of the Ravens owners role in this. Maybe this will come out later, or maybe it has come out and I just didn't see it. But I watched the impromptu presser that Eric DeCosta did. It looked like it was outside of the Ravens facility, the day it happened. And maybe I'm a simp for falling for this and he was faking it, but he seemed pretty distraught. He seemed pretty upset by it, and he really thought it was going to happen, and he let it slip a couple times where he kind of just offhand just said something God, or I don't know, maybe he was faking it, and maybe he's a total slime ball, like you say, but that made me think it was the owner that made the final decision that was this is too big of a risk, cancel it. And he was like, what? And he was like, no, we don't want him. Tell him it's off. We'll look at Trey Hendrickson for less, and we can be more flexible. And Eric DeCosta had to go eat shit in front of everyone, and now his reputation and the franchise's reputation does take a little bit of a hit. I don't think it's quite as big as some people think. I don't think people are the Ravens are never going to make a deal again, but I do think people will remember this.
Yeah,
especially the fucking Raiders. Yeah, it does to some extent. To what extent it remains to be. Maybe we'll probably never know because we're not in that world. And
the owners' meetings are just around the corner, so
are going to happen. Yeah. So and I think that was who owners and agents was who you saw a lot of quotes from that were poo-pooing it. I personally don't think it was Eric DeCosta's what he wanted. I think it came from either lawyers, contract guys, or the owner. Money guys convinced the owner to nix it at the 11th hour. I have no proof of that, or I have not done any reporting on this.
That
but
sounds
that's
a lot of hearsay to me, buddy. I wouldn't be saying bad things about an NFL owner.
The whole thing's hearsay, though. I mean, that's all. I don't know. And he's probably not going to play, right? When's the earliest he could even be on the field, right? Not week 1.
I mean, I think he had a minor, he had some things cleaned up out of his knee. I think he'll be good to go by the summer.
Okay.
It's what I understand, at least.
Okay.
I'm not a medical or football. I'm a football mind. I'm not a sound mind, but I know football.
Kyler Murray to the purple and gold. What do you think of that?
I think this has been a great move. That's before all this started at the end of the year. I was thinking about where's Kyler going to go, and that was my top destination in my mind. And I think everything is there for him to succeed for the first time in his career. A decent enough O-line, a Hall of Fame receiver with some pretty good complementary pieces around him. They probably need to upgrade running back. We'll see what they do there. A pretty good defense, a great like offensive and quarterback minded head coach and play caller. So let's fucking go. Like maybe this is the last year was weird and they had JJ McCarthy just kind of sucked and is just a weird little boy running around out there. And now they have a physically smaller man, but a man. Yeah, I don't know. I think this offense could absolutely suit his strengths. It's like they really like to stretch the field. They like a lot of deep balls. He throws a great deep ball. I think everything is in place for him to succeed and to rebound and to prove himself. And like, it's a smart deal on both sides because Kyler's still making like 35 mil this year because the Cardinals have to pay him a big chunk of that salary. He signed the Vikings are going to cover like 1.8. Like you can maybe even draft a guy and like a day 2, day 3 quarterback.
Oh
yeah, absolutely. Like to if you want to kind of develop a guy. But I'm excited. I think this will be good, and I'm excited for Kyler. You know, he has everything he needs to prove himself, and he should be very motivated. And if it doesn't work out here, then it's just never going to work, and that stinks for him. But he's made a lot of money, and that's all we care about in this country, anyway. It's true.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say never going to work if it doesn't work here. He is a number 1 overall pick. He will get another chance after this, I'm sure.
I would I'm kind of on the fence about that. I'm 50-50 if he gets another chance after this one.
What
if he was bigger, yes. Like I think his stature will limit the chances that he has.
Damn, even though being number 1 overall pick.
Honestly, yeah, it seems like he doesn't have a great reputation around the league. Like,
that's
and
true.
I think a lot of that is based on his like physical build, and a lot of it is based on his like attitude. I think all these like owners and GMs talk to each other, and like he's probably acted like a pissy asshole to them, and that has gotten around. Like, so, I don't know. That's just the vibe I get from him and from like the Cardinals. So we'll see.
I think if you saw his KD ratio on Modern Warfare 2, you'd be singing a fucking different song, I think, pal.
Oh, I mean, and maybe
you'd be singing a different tune about his dedication.
I mean, maybe he can reunite the FaZe clan and become a professional video gamer.
That would be tight. That would be so tight.
That would be kind of sick if he just became like a legendary gamer. It's like the rebirth of Kyle, like a 30 for 30. It's like the rebirth of Kyler Murray.
He's like 37 and like overweight and like balding, but he's like an elite to Overwatch player or whatever. Okay, everything you said about his like comeback stuff and how he can redeem himself and turn things around, I feel like you could also apply all that to Kevin O'Connell because he's the Vikings season last year went so off the rails and was so bad, such bad quarterback play,
it was a disaster.
Historically bad quarterback play. No matter what you looked at it, normal stats, advanced stats, you're not no stats and just the 5 check, disastrous. So, and they got rid of the GM. They got rid of the who was the offensive. I don't know if they got rid of their offensive coordinator or not. But basically, it's like he's the franchise. Kevin O'Connell is the face of the franchise, frankly, at this point. So if he can't figure it out, and it's a 1-year vet minimum for Kyler Murray, so it's really just like baseline stuff here.
You think Jettas is happy?
I think he's probably like arrow up a little bit. I don't think he's like happy. I don't think he's like oh good. I think he's not like oh we're gonna make real noise next year. I think he's like okay, that's step 1. Is
you know how he's like the probably the best player in the NFL.
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like he is like undervalued at least? Like he should probably be like one of the young faces of the league, and it doesn't seem like he's like saturating a market.
I mean, that's how good he is. I think he is considered one of the faces of the league, and he does get a lot of exposure.
He turns down offers?
I still don't think it's enough. That's how good he is. He's still underrated.
Yeah, same. I think. Yeah, he should. People that don't know about football should know about him because he's He's insane. It's insane how good and how productive he is. Um, and I'm very excited. Like, remember when Kyler Murray like got DeAndre Hopkins, like prime DeAndre Hopkins, how good he looked that year?
Yeah, the
Like,
game of the catch against Buffalo in overtime, or at the end of the
yeah,
game, whatever
the
that
one
was.
hander. Yeah, it was so sick. That's what made me
Yeah.
want to move to Arizona. Remember that same season, DeAndre Hopkins got in trouble for flipping off like all the Trump buses?
No, I don't think I remember that.
Yeah, he was like driving to a game. He was on like the 101 or whatever, and he passed a couple of these
Oh,
buses of like Trump, like voter. There's like some like Trump parade bus on the highway, and he drove by and flipped them off because
well,
he's an absolute king. Top
I
down on
know
his like Lamborghini, flipping them off.
now.
So
I sort
sick.
of now I sort of do. I think I remember that because I remember a bunch of like right wing talking heads being all like faux like pissed off about that. It's like, didn't a caravan of Trump people try to like literally run Hillary Clinton's campaign van off the road, like kill her a couple of weeks before
Probably,
that?
probably. Um, and
Or
then
yeah.
there was probably like some sports commentators like, "Oh, that is just a disgusting act. He should be executed by the state for it." Absolutely disgust. It's like, remember when Joe Buck got so upset that Randy Moss did the fake mooning thing?
A disgusting act. I'm
That
sorry
was
that came across our airwaves.
puts a dark mark on the league. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Who was with him? Was it Tony Romo or Troy Aikman who was with him at that time? I think he
I
was
don't
like,
know.
I think
I
it was
don't know
early.
because
It might have been early Troy Aikman, and he was like, "Now he's gonna shoot the moon." I think he kind of thought it was a little funny, and then Joe Buck like was like
like, oh,
clutching
that's
his fucking pearls
disgusting.
about it.
I am so sorry that we put a black person on your TV, America. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Well, okay. As far as the Arizona side of it, they're just gonna roll with Jacoby Brissett. Is that what's happening with them? He's
Seems like it.
yeah. He could have worse starters at this point.
Gardner
I don't think.
Minshew will start like 3 to 5 games for them because Jacoby Brissett gets hurt. Like,
Yeah.
because like he like, I even saw it like when Jacoby. So Kyler Murray, the last game Kyler Murray played was the game I was at against the Titans because that's when he hurt his foot. And then he was out after that.
So you
The first
saw Kyler Murray's last start as a Cardinal.
I did, yeah. It was
Wow.
amazing. It was an amazing game. I saw a guy in one of those big foam baseball caps cry and threaten to kill the offensive coordinator. It was incredible. It was fucking incredible. What a great day. I just missed my family the whole time I was there. But so the first play, like Jacoby Brissett, like doesn't have anything, like nobody gets open, so he rolls out to the right and throws it at like the feet of his tight end, and like the tight end has to make this weird move, and then she gets lit the fuck up and tears his ACL. So like his first pass attempt was like literally a hospital ball. This guy, I watched him get stretchered off and taken to the
Jesus
hospital,
Christ.
and everyone was like freaking out around me because they thought it was they thought it was McBride, their actually good tight end,
Yeah.
for a second. And then like everyone was like, "Oh, thank God!" Like this guy's like being wheeled off, and he's like crying, and like everyone in my section is like, "Thank God!" It's just this. It's
Jeez.
just some blocking tight end. But yeah, Brissett sucks. So we're gonna see some Gardner Minshew. I did discover something last week. I sent it to our group chat that Minshew is a Trump guy, which
Oh yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where I just didn't have to know. Like, I didn't want to make assumptions. I didn't have to know. But yeah, there he was at the White House putting his arm around Trump, all excited to see him, which fucking sucks.
I feel like even though in the national cultural divorce, Democrats won. The left got football and uh, seems like country music too, and like pop singers. But one of the unexpected results is that the right got guys who live in their van and like wrestling.
Yeah, that is kind of strange. I don't
Unfortunately,
know. It just
that didn't
Minshew
used to be
seemed
the
like
case. Is what I'm saying.
he was such an everyman and like a kind of this folk hero. Like, and he seemed like a man of the people, and now he's just like a boot licking scab, and I fucking hate him.
Jacoby Brissett has the lowest interception rate of all time, like career, 1.4%.
Well, how many sacks has he taken though? What's his sack rate?
His sack percentage is 7.84. Not sure. That's
Well, I
not
don't really know where that ranks.
me neither. Like, what's a good one?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Brucey. That's the AI I use. It's really bad.
I know.
Hey, Brucey.
Bo Nix had a really low one last year. 3.76. So Bo Nix has a career 3.76. So that's like considered low. Anyway, any other moves that we need to go over that were big? Did the Eagles do anything that you liked in the past week, or didn't like?
I like the Reek Woolen signing. I think that like at his best, he is like one of the best cover corners in the league. I think at his worst, he's like a meltdown disaster guy who gets like he gets blows up a couple coverages on accident and then has like a mental meltdown and like commits a bunch of penalties and it fucks us. So he's like the perfect Eagles player in that sense. We have like we're replacing a Dory Jackson with a guy that has like all pro upside, so I'll take it. Like it's a 1 year prove it deal. And now like our secondary has 3 like stud lockdown corners in it, which should help our pass rush a whole lot. That being said, like we still have to add to our pass rush. We signed this one guy from the Falcons, Albert. I cannot pronounce his last name. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call him Al.
That's not the O.
He's no.
Oh.
Like an EB something. He's like a kind of a situational pass rusher, like a depth kind of like rotational guy. But I don't know, he has that pedigree, and I think he's like a guy Howie liked in the draft and didn't get. So we signed him. At the time he was drafted, he was kind of like people were like, "Whoa, like second round's pretty high." Like that might be a bit of a reach. And like he was productive, but like small scale productive. I don't know. We gave Dallas Goddard $7 million to come back, so we kind of fucked him over. So he'll come in and play like 7 games and then get hurt a whole bunch and then be out of the league in a year. So that's cool. I don't think that AJ Brown is gonna be traded. I think that like Diana Rossini really wants him to be traded for some reason. Like she keeps like inventing stories to like push the narrative. And I don't know why like she has such a hard on. Like she's like a Philly person.
Who?
Diana Rossini.
Oh, yeah, but making trades for trading for who?
AJ Brown. She keeps
yeah.
Every week there's some like tweet or like a small article about how AJ Brown's going to be traded today. And look, I'm not trying to besmirch somebody who is very respected by her peers, but also it's like sports writers are just very like protective of their own, kind of like pedophiles are. So it's true. I mean, we're seeing it. We're seeing it every day, man. Like,
I'd rather be ruled by sports journalists than pedophiles if I had
absolutely same. Yeah, if I had to have my pick, absolutely. I would like really short, stocky nerds. That would be fine.
The Diana Rossini regime wouldn't be basically committing a genocide in Cuba.
No. But we'd like be receiving like maybe twice as much misinformation. So it would be a very confusing time, but not a scary one. Yeah, I don't think AJ Brown gets moved. I think he's going to stay, which is cool. I always felt like it was going to be 50-50, but hey, look, if he's happy in this offense and like he's been paid, like that's cool. But if we do trade him, I hope that we get it has to be like a package to get like Maxx Crosby or
Well, that's
somebody good like that.
well, that's the thing, is it kind of seems like he's not happy in the offense, right? Isn't that the whole issue?
Yeah, but we've completely revamped the offense and like we brought in we're gonna be running like the Shanahan McVay offense next year. So like a lot of play action,
I see, I see.
a lot of like disguising formations and like pre-snap movement and like precise drops, timing passes, all that like we've brought in not just an OC that runs that system, but a quarterbacks coach and a passing game coordinator that all are from like the same they're from like the same branch of this tree where like they all believe in the same tendencies and like little philosophies from this
Right.
larger philosophy. So there's going to be a lot of philosophical continuity and like adherence, which is smart.
I mean, is in those offenses, our wide receivers are asked to block a lot for the run game, right?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
And
I don't think AJ Brown
AJ
likes
Brown and
doing that.
Devonta Smith. AJ Brown is actually like very good blocking in the run game. That's not something he
Okay,
complains about. He's
okay,
like he
okay.
doesn't mind being the dirty work guy. Same thing with Devonta Smith. Like we have had that. We've seen that. Like their willingness to like get in there and get dirty. What we really need, honestly, is we need a tight end and an edge rusher so bad. Um, we're just kind of hoping that like Nolan Smith stays healthy and Jalen Hunt like continues to ascend. And don't get me wrong, like there's a very good chance that Jalen Hunt is a household name by the end of this season. He's the guy that was a safety at Brown and is now an edge rusher in the NFL. He's just a freak.
At Brown,
Yeah, he was he was an Ivy League safety, then
the
transferred to like
the
Texas
safety school of
Presbyterian.
the Ivy League. I
Oh,
must say.
hey man, don't let my buddy I went to high school with hear that because he went to Brown. He played football there actually.
I
Um,
say, have you ever stop me if you've heard this one? Have you ever heard when the old Harvard man was meeting the Yaley, and the Harvard man said, "At Harvard, they're teaching us to wash our hands after every time we go to the bathroom." And the Yaley responds by saying, "Oh well, at Yale, they're teaching us not to piss on our hands."
I hate this. I really don't like this at all. Can we stop? Can we be done with this?
Okay,
Are you
I thought
done?
we were good. Yeah, I'm done. It's over.
God, that made me want to. Oh, I feel sick. I feel fucking sick to my stomach.
Well, Jets fans might be feeling a little bit sick right now because Geno Smith is their quarterback.
Yeah, Geno
Again.
Smith is back, and Demario Davis is back for a third time. And what the fuck are the Jets even doing? I don't know. The Jets are weird.
It couldn't be much worse than last season. I mean, there has to be.
I mean, they're gonna win one game.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're bad, dude.
I'm like cautiously optimistic. I'm like
For
partially
the
optimistic
Jets,
about it. For the Jets, yes. I
the
think
New York Jets,
yes.
the New York
I
Football Jets.
I think Geno Smith was experiencing psychic and just like soul level energy draining dark cyclones in his blood cells when he was in Las Vegas. The crystals were not aligned. It wasn't working. I think he needed a fresh start, a change of pace, a little familiarity. I'm sure he knows a lot of the people and that work in the building in the Meadowlands. So
New York Jets.
not
Gotham.
saying I'm not sitting here saying he's gonna light the world on fire and be the best quarterback in the league, but I don't think he'll be like nightmarishly bad again. I think it'll just be like serviceable or slightly below.
So you think the Jets are going to be good and he's going to win the Heisman Trophy next year?
No!
Is that what you're fucking saying?
I'm saying he's going to win 2 Heisman trophies. They're going to invent a second one because of how good he is. They're going to say
Oh my God.
we have to honor him in a new way.
You're out of your mind, dude.
We've run out of superlatives for this fucking Adonis on Earth. No, I'm saying they'll be like the third. They'll be in third or fourth place again in the AFC East, but I don't think it's going to be like if they don't like What if they go another season without recording an interception? I mean, that is a one in a lifetime bad team. It can't be worse. I mean, I know it's the Jets, but Jesus. Like they could. I'm saying they're going to have like a 6 or 7 win season. What was their record last year?
Hold on. I have to look it up. You keep talking, and I'll look this up.
They were 3-14. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
6, 7 wins is an improvement for them. That's what I'm saying. They're going to be like firmly mid. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Firmly mid.
Firmly in the mid tier.
Okay, so it's like
10 tones down in the mid.
And you think because they have Geno Smith?
Because of Geno Smith, partly.
What about their running back, Breece Hall? Didn't they re-sign him?
I think I think Geno Smith is going to be the 18th best quarterback in football instead of the 30th. If I'm being honest.
I think the Jets are going to be dog shit. I think Aaron Glenn gets fired during the season.
Oh, no.
And then is like really mad about it and like says some like nasty shit in the media about Woody Johnson.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to happen.
They gave him they franchise tagged Breece Hall.
Yeah, the Jets suck. The Jets suck so bad that Joe Douglas was their GM, and he left New York and is now like a personnel executive with the Eagles again. So he left the Jets, he left the Eagles to get a promotion, and then came back and like now has like not the same job, like a bump up, like in the front office, but he's back with the Birds, baby.
Back with the Birds. Back with the real green team, the true green team.
Yeah, I think what the Eagles are doing is I think they got like really good money for Dallas Goedert. They re-signed Grant Calcaterra. I think what they're going to do is try and trade up in the first round to draft Kenyon Sadiq. I think Howie is so horny for him.
He is a coveted target in that draft. I think it's going to be a bloodbath.
You would think that he is my neighbor's wife the way I'm coveting him. I just can't stop lusting after him. I made love with my wife last night. I was thinking about Kenyon Sadiq. I was thinking about like
how he'd fit in the Shanahan offense.
I had to finish, and so I just thought like, and with the 23rd pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Kenyon Sadiq, tight end Oregon, and then I busted.
And then you thought about what's the Eagles radio guy that's been there for a really long time? Merrill Reese.
Merrill Reese, yep.
Kenyon Sadiq. He kind of sounds like Bernie Sanders. Kenyon Sadiq with a great cut for Philadelphia that ends the game in overtime. The Eagles beat the Buccaneers.
My mom sent me a Bernie finger puppet that is also like a fridge magnet. She was just getting books for my kid at like this little bookstore, and they had those at the checkout counter. So she got it for me because she knows I like him a lot, and she likes him a lot too. And my kid is obsessed with it. She loves to play with it. Sometimes she'll take it, like we'll go on a walk, and she'll be like, "We gotta get Bernie," and then she'll have Bernie on her finger while we're on our walk. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Honey, that's Bernie." She's like, "Bernie." She loves it.
Kids love Bernie.
Oh yeah, I got her to say "fuck ice," and then my wife was like upset, and I was like, "Honey, you can't be upset. Like, are you pro ice?"
Last thing, before we wrap up here, unless you have something else,
I have nothing to say.
Justin Fields to the Chiefs, probably gonna have to start for a few weeks for Mahomes.
I completely missed that. Is this something that actually happened, or are you saying it's gonna happen?
Yeah, I think it happened either yesterday or Sunday night, I think.
Justin Fields to the Chiefs. I think that's hilarious for the Chiefs because he's so bad. He should just this is like, I wanted him to be so good. I remember watching that college football playoff. Remember when he got lit the fuck up by that Clemson linebacker? And then he gets up and like it turns out he had like cracked ribs and like cartilage damage from that hit, but like played like 2 more games. Like I thought he was the shit. I loved him. I wanted him to be so good. He just needs to like he needs to become like an H back. Like what they need to do is who's that weird Mormon guy that like Sean Payton loved? Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
He's they need to Taysom. Yeah. Oh yeah. His name's Taysom, dude. He went to BYU.
Damn, my bad.
His name's Taysom. It's a goofy, like made up name. Yes.
Wait. Braylon is Mormon?
If a white guy has a made up name, 99% chance he's Mormon.
Okay, he did his mission in Australia. Yeah, fuck.
I would never go there. Too many spiders. And I don't like what they've done to indigenous lands.
They're not that bad, mate. You can avoid the spiders if you know it. We don't
avoid spiders. Hey, no one can get sucked off on stolen land. Well, they have a problem with that too. There, they're getting sucked off on stolen land. They need to Taysom Hill his ass. Like
the Australians probably have a bizarre slang term for blowjobs that we couldn't even comprehend if we encountered it.
Damn right. You're damn right they do. I'll have to watch Peppa Pig and
just give me a
no, Peppa Pig's British.
Went to the car park and she started giving me a blowgerina, mate.
Blowberg.
The blowberg.
Mate is cool. I like saying mate. Mate is sick.
She's not a guy below the bridge, mate.
Below
the mat. All right.
Do you watch Bluey? Have you seen Bluey?
I have not seen Bluey.
You don't have a child, but have you seen the show about the cartoon dog family? It's
wonderful. I've watched K-pop Demon Hunters, but I've not gone to.
Oh my god.
We watch a lot of children's television for people that don't have children, though. But not.
Okay, here are my hot takes. You asked me if I had anything else to say. I have a couple things to say. Justin Fields should become the next Taysom Hill. Just make him like a gadget, like halfback, like tight end, like slot receiver, whatever. Because he's a fucking athletic freak. Like, hey, just get him the ball, and he can do amazing things with it. But he's not going to do it for you under center, unfortunately. And we have enough proof of concept. Like, we have tried and tried and tried. But when he has the ball in open field or like a couple people to make miss, he can be highly effective and successful. So that's what I think there. He needs a position change so bad. Like Cordell Patterson. Just make him do all of Cordell Patterson stuff, and he'll be good.
I mean, he must have. He needs to thank his lucky stars, because if Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy can't figure out a way to make him an effective player,
and he's done, dude. He's going to be in the USFL. Really by the time he's 30, he'll be in the USFL or the XFL.
Yeah, right.
The spring league.
He's going to be doing sales for some medical company or something if he doesn't like.
He's a name, so he'll get a bunch of money to play in the XFL.
You want to make him into a Swiss Army knife player like Taysom Hill? Does he want that? Do you think he wants to do that?
I think if you sit him down and say, "Hey, man, like, do you want to play in the National Football League?" and he says yes, and you say, "Okay, in order for you to do that, we're gonna have to ask you to do something a bit different, and here it is," and then you're gonna have to get him to buy in, and if you can get him to buy in. And I'd like to see that experiment. Fucking, what's his name? Tim Tebow tried it and sucked at it. I think Justin Fields is a much better athlete than Tim Tebow. So why not give it a shot? Like, what are you going to lose by at least trying? He rushed for did 300 yards in a game at quarterback. Or something outrageous, 268, something insane when he was with the Bears. He's a freak, and he's so good in the open field with the football. So just get him the ball in the open field, and he's going to score.
He rushed for 1,100 yards in 2022. Remember that?
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Crazy. How
that's
soon we forget.
that's like a Pro Bowl running back almost. Like that's crazy. Um, so
Great
I that's
touchdown.
I think that's what I think. I alluded to I think to there's a couple other things. The couple other things are this: 2025 was a great year for movies. It's the best year for movies in a long time, maybe since like 2007. But the two best movies of the year were K-pop Demon Hunters and Eddington, and I will not explain.
Okay.
I finally watched Eddington and I loved it. I thought it was so good. And
Really?
then I think a lot of people missed the forest for the trees with that one.
How's that?
Well, a lot of people were like, it was trying to say this about social justice, or it was trying to say this about misinformation, or it was trying to say this about vaccines. It wasn't trying to say anything about any of that stuff. The point that it was trying to make is that we live in a society that is failing. The system is crumbling in front of our eyes, and instead of doing something about it, we are willingly distracted and pitted against each other, and we're tearing each other to shreds while we get our pockets picked clean, and that evil, shadowy corporations continue to devastate everything around us and get their way, and they prevail while we kill each other. And I thought it was very poignant and urgent.
I didn't really like Eddington as much as people.
I loved it. I went into it thinking it would be fine, but I left it like when I first read about it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be awesome. I love Ari Aster. Joaquin Phoenix is my favorite actor. I really loved Beau is Afraid, and but I went in like, cause yeah, like I kind of like I had some friends that saw the movie and said it's okay. I thought it was amazing.
I thought the best movie I saw last year wasn't even nominated for an Oscar. It was No Other Choice. The Korean,
So
the
yeah,
Korean.
I've been wanting to watch that. Yeah,
It was so good. I thought it was better than Eddington. I thought it was better than Sinners. I thought it was better than Marty Supreme. I thought it was better than any of those movies. And I
one
liked,
did you like it better than One Battle?
yes, and I loved One Battle, and I loved Sinners,
Yeah,
and I loved. Well, I didn't actually love. I did love Marty Supreme. I thought it was just okay,
I still
and
haven't watched it yet.
I did not like Eddington, but No Other Choice was fucking incredible, and I'm shocked that it wasn't even. I wasn't even nominated for some like bullshit category or anything. It was not in the Oscars, I think, at all, and
No,
it was.
it wasn't.
It was shortlisted for Best International Feature Film, which is pretty fucking outrageous considering it's made by the guy that made fucking Parasite, which won
Yeah.
Best Picture a few years ago.
Um,
So
and it was a huge year for.
and it was released in America. It wasn't like some secret little
No,
like underground film.
it was,
I mean, it had
it
a
was a
wide
big year
release.
for Korean film at the Oscars. Like also, um,
I thought it was
I
fucking
think
fantastic.
K-pop Demon Hunters is.
I think about it on weekly.
I'll have to watch it. We'll watch it this week. I'll let you know. I'll come back next week and I'll give you my my breakdown. But I think K-pop Demon Hunters is the best animated movie ever made. I watch that movie 2 to 3 times a week because of my kid, and I never get sick of it. It's awesome. The animation is fucking incredible. The story is cool as fuck. The music is great. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's like this generation of parents Frozen, except
because you
it's
like.
like not. I don't have to listen to fucking Josh Gad sing. I get to hear a cool K-pop shit and see demons, see people fight demons. Yeah, it's sick as
I
fuck.
can't stand Josh Gad, dude. Good lord.
Remember when he used to like post pictures of himself crying all the time?
No.
Like he would be like, just thought about how like women are treated in America, and it's just like a picture of him crying on his Twitter. Yeah, dude, he's fat and he's a fat, pathetic asshole. That guy sucks.
I just don't like him because he's a Broadway guy. I think Broadway guys are annoying. Yeah. That's the week in football, I think, folks. I don't think
And
we
that
have
was
any,
football.
well, okay, but my last thing, the thing I want to say on Justin Fields is I won't say I was like a Justin Fields holdout, but I was pretty late on Justin Fields Island. I stayed there for kind of a little bit after other people left.
Ooh, yeah. Do you
As
guys order a
far
lot of pizza?
what's that?
Do you guys order a lot of pizza on that island?
Not really. No, it was
Oh,
it was
okay.
by the time I left, it was getting pretty. People were hoarding stuff. There was different factions sort of fighting. It was getting a lot kind of Lord of the Flies. I had to get out of there. And it was like, yeah, near the end of his tenure in Chicago, I was like, I don't think this guy's a starting quarterback in the NFL, man. I just don't. And I really wanted him to be. I really liked him too. I loved his athleticism. I loved his demeanor. I loved everything about him, but it just never worked. But then when he got signed by the Jets, I was like, all right, the situation in Chicago sucked. They had the number 1 overall pick. They had to go with it. He was never going to compete with Caleb Williams in a real.
Yeah, but he had that weird year with the Steelers too. In between then.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. So he goes to the Steelers, and I'm like, all right, maybe it's a second chance for him. Maybe it works. And he got outplayed by Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Then he goes to the Jets, and I'm like, okay, well maybe now he's getting a third chance. Yeah. And it was worse than anyone could have. Even the Justin Fields haters couldn't have predicted how.
Right, he doesn't deserve another chance. Just
and now
make
it's his
him
4th chance.
Gadget
it's like,
player.
dude, what is it about this guy? Like the Chiefs think. I mean, are they punting on the season? Is this like a bullshit season for them? Do they think they can? Do they think when Mahomes gets back they can hang or not? I mean, I don't know, man. And again, I'll be rooting for him. I want it to go good. I want him to have a renaissance and show his potential. And yeah, if he has to do some, if anyone can come up with some weird ass gadget toss, rugby looking ass plays for him at a different position, it's Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. But
right, but like, I don't know. I have something I want to say that is like to go off what you just said. I think the Chiefs. I don't necessarily think they're punting on this season. I think they're doing this kind of like, it's like a soft rebuild, like a reset.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a 2-year thing because it's like the generation, there's a lot of generational turnover on the roster right now. This is going to be Kelsey's like farewell season or whatever, which I think is really dumb. Like, if I'm 36, you couldn't pay me enough money to go play football. If I have Taylor Swift, like, I'm doing everything in my power to keep Taylor Swift happy. I'm not, you've done everything in football, dude.
She wants him to play again, reportedly. She's encouraged him to play again. So that does make her happy.
Okay, good.
To go lose to the Broncos again.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I like the Billy Madison bad guy laugh. But yeah, I think they're doing like a soft rebuild where it's like, okay, yeah, we'll put Justin Fields out there. Patrick's going to be back in like week 10. And by then, like, we can't rely on just him to like win like 7 games in a row. So we make a wild card. They don't really have like the roster infrastructure, right? Like, when it comes, they don't have the good receivers. Their O-line fucking sucked last year. They traded their best corner. So I think what they're doing now is like, okay, so like we're picking 9th this year. That is like, and we have Patrick Mahomes. So we're going to like.
That's crazy.
We're going to draft some really good players and develop them. And then we're going to have another draft where we're going to pick high again, draft some really good players and develop them. Patrick's going to be 30. He's probably playing until he's 38, 39, right? That's kind of like the window that people eye now, like quarterbacks playing to their late 30s in this generation.
Especially elite ones.
Yeah, like just because of the rules and everything. Yeah, like you're going to see, like he's going to have like another act of his career where it's like,
oh yeah,
he wins like 2 to 3 more Super Bowls, like
totally.
And when he like in his like early to mid 30s, like that's absolutely what's going to happen. Right now, we're just seeing like the Chiefs Kingdom era come to its end, and then this next era is going to load, all again helmed by Patty Mahomes with really good like players because they're drafting so high.
Just real quick before we, that's all right, and I agree with all that. The Chiefs are now one of 5 teams that have 2 picks in the first round. Now that because of the Jaylen Waddle trade, there's now 5 teams that have 2 picks.
And who are those teams?
The Jets have picked 2 and 16. 2 picks in the top 20. The Browns picks 6 and 24. The Chiefs picks 9 and 29. The Dolphins picks 11 and 30. The Cowboys have picks 12 and 20.
Man, it's like mostly teams I hate too.
Yeah. Really, the only team on here that I don't actively hate is the Jets.
Yeah. I mean,
hate the Browns. Well, I wouldn't say hate the Browns actually.
I hate the Browns because I hate their owner.
I just hate their owner. I like the Browns like franchise and like players. I don't really have that much of a problem.
Yeah.
Except for one, and I'll give you one guess who it is.
Yeah, he's the sex pest.
I was just looking through my bookmarks on Twitter the other night because I was trying to find something, and I had bookmarked. Remember when the Browns after all the fucking Deshaun Watson shit happened, and obviously he's there, and in training camp they were like, Deshaun Watson does it in his sleep, and it's just him like walking off the field after his warm-ups, and he just sort of like very nonchalantly tosses the ball into one of those little net things from like 10 feet away. It was so sad looking. They were literally trying to hype up this completely routine, just nothing action into like off-season hype shit after they just signed a rapist. Being like this is the best clip you got of him all day. Is him coming off the field, some warm-ups, just throwing the ball away, just to go inside and lay down for a minute. Like, oh my god.
The headline should have been Deshaun Watson does it in their sleep. Oh no.
Oh no.
Deshaun,
well, that's
don't.
it. I think we're gonna call it there, folks. It's been a wild and wacky week for my team and for the NFL in general. We'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.
Goodbye. I love you.
Toodaloo.